that money to pay you. If you do not go to work, the fundamental question that we have to ask ourselves is that where do we get money to pay you?
Also, standoff between chairman and the ranking member on the Mines and Energy Committee in Parliament as they clash over the committee's verdict in the GNPC Genser gas deal.
A little boy.
Can I make my point, Honorable Tacha?
I have to tell
I'm an MP like you. You can't overrule me. Did you take a vote, and what was the vote? That is what you do at committee.
In business.
Some investors receive coupon payments for new bonds occasioned by the domestic debt exchange program after government released 2.4 billion cedis for settlement. Details on the Joy Business Report.
And in your election headquarters, our focus is on Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who is optimistic of securing victory in the Super Delegates Congress in return for his loyalty, dedication and sacrifices for the party.
I have sacrificed for the party. I have defended the party in good times and in challenging times. I have never wavered or slacked. Never.
I am Amiesi Nyamiche Thompson. Details shortly. Teachers and principals of colleges of education are sharply divided on whether striking teachers should continue their industrial action. It comes on the heels of a directive from the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission freezing the salaries and allowances of the teachers for the month of August. But the teachers insist they will not call off their strike despite government's decision to freeze their salaries. Acting National Secretary of CTAC, Messiah Ampuma, tells Joy News the leadership of teachers are unperturbed by the directive.
This is not the first time CTAC is suffering from this kind of intimidation. I think in 2018, November 2018, we embarked on a similar strike and the government froze our salary for that month too. So it's not new to us. They have been doing that. Our conditions of service are bad. So the government knows that once they use the salary, they can always get us back to the class. We have determined, we have told our members this is bound to happen. So we told members to make advanced preparation for this action.
Meanwhile, Public Relations Officer at the Ministry of Education, Kwesi Kwarteng, says the decision not to pay them in August is justified because the teachers have not shown evidence of work during the month.
So what we, the Ministry of Education, even did was that, indicate those false items. Let's look again and then prompt the Ministry of Finance for them to take it into account. That was done. Approval was given for payment, but that was around 21st of July because we were just entering into August. And the Ministry of Education informed CITA that this is where we are. Everything has been approved. In any event, we are going to, even in terms of your payment, all outstanding arrears are going to be backdated. And so you can then go to work because all the concerns that you were looking for has finally been resolved. Because what controller told Ministry of Education is that if indeed they want to effect the payment as at just last July, it was not going to be possible. What essentially means is that they will have to sacrifice the entire payment structure for all civil servants in Ghana.
Meanwhile, teacher trainees say the strike has grounded academic activity in all 46 colleges of education. Jefta Nana Kwame is president of the Trainees Association of Ghana.
CTAC has every right to do whatever it is doing now. And so for them to just reach a compromise of coming back to a classroom wouldn't be an option for them, as said by CTAC, that they want to see implementation of the order as in evidences of payment. So if NLC has been able to come out with such a ruling, and we still see government going ahead to the Ministry of Education, ordering GTEC to cause a salary suspension or hold on the salary of our tutors, then we feel that it's in a way aggravating the injury, an injury that is in the process of being healed, and we are aggravating it in this manner.
Jefta Nana Kwame is president of the Teacher Trainees Association of Ghana.
The chairman should understand this energy sector properly.
So please don't tell me I should understand energy thing. A little boy.
Can I make my point, Honorable Tacha?
I have to tell you.
And your leadership of the Mines and Energy Committee in Parliament in a clash over the verdict of the committee in the GNPC Genser gas deal. The deal involves provision of 50 million standard cubic feet of raw gas daily to Genser Energy. Some civil society groups have raised red flags about the deal and alleged government is is in line to make a $1.5 billion financial loss if it goes ahead with it. They petitioned Parliament to investigate the issue, but the committee in a report gave the deal a green light. Ranking member on the committee, John J24, maintains the report is not representative of the opinions of the minority.
The chairman is being very dishonest, and I'm surprised that the chairman can be this dishonest. I have maintained that this deal is not good, that I maintain that there is no value for money. I have never said ASAP is wrong. I never said ASAP or Imani was wrong. I said that the focus should not be on the numbers that ASAP presented. Is there value for money? Let him answer that question. And is the price reflective of the cost build-up as far as the gas is concerned?
But chairman of the committee, Samuel Atachia, has rejected the claim that he forced the decision down the throat of his members.
I find it very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate that the ranking is pretending that he has the support of the minority. It's not true. I can't force my thinking on former minister in the energy space. If you like, I'm a little lawyer in the corner. So how can I on my own come to terms with every issue? So it was a broad, comprehensive engagement. And I'm saying that these are matters that if anybody should dare me, the platform conversation which everybody is having, I may put it in the public domain because it's very sad. I have such a little integrity, I don't want to mess it up.
Now to some exciting news. Finally, one of the schools featured in Season 2 of Ghana Schools of Shame has received furniture to cater for over 400 pupils in the Bakaba Primary School in Nanumba North Municipality. The government donated 100 dual desk, a licensed cocoa buying company. FEDCO also donated 100 desks. Now, Joy News Features editor Jojo Kobna reports that the furniture situation in the school has been permanently solved.
What is happening here is not a festival. The people of Bakaba in the Nanumba North Municipality are excited. For years, the majority of children here have been without school furniture. They danced their heart out to celebrate the donation of furniture to their school. But that is the end of the story. Let's go to the beginning. The story of Bakaba Primary started in April 2023. For years, children in Bakaba kneel, squat, sit, or sometimes lie on their bellies because they had no furniture. Gifty Odanjo, a pupil in class 5, was compelled to come to school earlier than usual in order to get access to furniture. Gifty could not take it anymore. She burst into tears as she narrated the ordeal they endured daily.
As you can see, some of us don't have uniforms. Even me, I don't have any decent uniform. And we sit on the floor to learn. When it rains, we are compelled to sit in this structure. Because of its size, we are beaten by the rain.
The Ministry of Education donated 100 dual desks to the school, but the school needed 100 dual desks more. FEDCO, a local licensed cocoa buying company, came to the rescue and donated 100 dual desks to completely cater for the needs of the students.
We thank God for giving us the opportunity to do this for our community.
No child has been left behind. They all have furniture.
And that was Jojo Kabina's report. In our election headquarters, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is touting his dedication and allegiance to the NPP, positioning himself as a suitable choice to lead the party. He pledges to carve a distinct path towards economic prosperity if chosen. Samuel Imbura of our political desk sheds light on his candidacy.
He is an economist with experience at the central bank. He transitioned into politics and was the first to introduce a data-driven narrative in Ghana's political landscape, gaining trust among Ghanaians. His prominence peaked during the 2012 election petition.
Let us put down my analysis and show me one repeated polling station in my analysis. If you are afraid of the truth, then of course you will hide behind these exhibit numbers.
His father, Mumuni Bawumia, co-founded the Northern People's Party with SD Dombo contributing to the birth of the New Patriotic Party, NPP. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's candidacy garners extensive nationwide endorsements from both within and outside the NPP. Notably, Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, Dan Botry, is among NPP stalwarts supporting him.
I will urge all of you to come out together to vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
And that was Samuel Imbura's report, bringing us to the end of the bulletin. And our top story: teachers and principals of colleges of education lock horns over teachers' industrial action as CTAC resolves to continue its strike unabated. I am Amisi Nyamiche Thompson. Business is next on the Super Morning Show.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Quartz and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panzapa. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Sorry. Chairman. Hey, Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Behind every door lies a world of opportunities.
And with Absa's flexible loans, you hold the master key to open all the doors to your dreams.
Doors to a new horizon and everything you could ever dream of. At ABSA, we help you open the doors to all your dreams. Whether you want to buy a home, a plot of land, or finance your personal projects, our flexible personal loans, mortgage, and credit cards can make it happen. Visit absa.com.gh to discover how to get things done. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA. Terms and conditions apply.
Your preferred retirement partner, Apex Trustee, offers you an unmatched pension administration service that guarantees a cheerful life of retirement for both formal and informal sector workers. Our Progress Occupational Pension Scheme, the Progress Provident Fund Scheme, and the Progress Personal Pension Scheme will help you achieve financial peace of mind during retirement. Apex Trustee provides employer-sponsored schemes, including staff welfare schemes, seeking to outsource the day-to-day administration of their second-tier occupational pension and third-tier provident fund schemes. Start the quality lifestyle journey you envisage for your retirement now. Call us on 0504 368048 or 0256 793330. Apex Trustee, a joyous retirement begins here.
Who wants a song when you can have a sale? Orca is celebrating 20 years of excellence by giving you 50% off 20,000 items. Make your house feel like home with selected furniture, accessories, textiles, decor, appliances, and much more for 50% off. Celebrate this milestone with us. Visit the Orca Superstore on Spintex Road today.
Welcome to the Visa Summer Experience. Enjoy offers from merchants worldwide. Get your visa. Explore the world with complimentary travel insurance. Relax in premium airport lounges worldwide. Check in with exotic hotel deals. Relish sweet deals on restaurants. Fuel your adventure with discounted car rentals. And if you want to shop online, we've got offers for you too. There's so much for every traveler. Visit africa.visa.com today.
Charlie, that be the sound you hear when things make hot. I'm sure this is not battery, just cash flow. Laja no day. It is safe to say we are all facing challenging times. We are all wondering how we are going to lighten our financial burdens. Nowhere cool. But don't worry, with a little help from your trusted bank, J24 Ghana, be fine. J24 Ghana is making all its customers happy with the Yatiso Loans promo. In fact, SG Ghana customers and even non-customers who are on the controller and accountant general payroll can enjoy access to our amazing discounted loans. Don't waste time. Get your loan today. Step into a branch or call 0302-214-314 to get the ball rolling. Terms and conditions apply. Remember, promotion ends on 29 September 2023. J24 Ghana. The future is you.
Just be happy. Don't you worry.
Yeah, Charlie, so many vibes na bonten father ma sanaba. Ma many papa nyanum na do for more fear no more acquaintum. Shebibia anya so amani ska ko fear see and fancy that near fear for before Jawisi no parking. Ebe men Sujai Casa. Thanks to Sukasa, how to Nyanetra. Sukasa see a damn brony friend affordable luxury homes. Or more 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. Where you're fully gated or grants and communities. Or more malls, clubhouse, and all social amenities. Plus 24-hour security. Almost with flexible payments. And yeah, no my dear at Dow Casa. Plus 100% guaranteed cashback. Yes, 100% guaranteed cashback. No quick finances stories. Contact Sukasa right now through phone calls or WhatsApp on 030-296-0865 and 055-369-7886. Charlie social media so more, baby. You can find them on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube at Sukasa GH. Email Susi at info@sukasa.com.gh. Sukasa, building on trust.
On this happy trip. Charlie?
That was on my mind as well. Good morning, Kojo.
Yeah, good morning. Not bad. Akosia Bame is our guest this morning. I'm very excited about Mindset Revolution. She's written a book about it, you know.
Nice.
Yeah. We change the way you think and changes everything around you.
Yeah, we need that a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, should we start with examples? I mean, the number of ways in which just the way we think about things is the problem.
Exactly.
Right.
I think that solves much of our problems, or many of our problems, if we are able to change our mindset.
Yeah. I mean, where do you think winner takes all comes from?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you are being careful about how the Constitution was written, it wasn't really designed to, make the winner the owner of the country. But the way we think has converted it into that.
Yeah.
And so we practicalize our Constitution as if we are kings rather than elected officials. You see?
That's true.
Because of how we think.
Akosia Bame.
Akosia Bame. What? She's coming. I'm excited. But not just about that. This morning, a couple of questions that have been keeping me awake at night will be answered. Maybe a legal question or two. Is it legal for me to tell my creditors? So can I pick up the phone and call my bank and tell them that, hello, bank, if you don't convince me that I owe you by the 31st of this month, Sikanashi, the debt will be erased.
You know, we were talking about this yesterday, right? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really make sense. And I don't know how this is being allowed to go on. And I don't know who has oversight over this, but it is not on.
Yeah. Plus, why does this case keep getting adjourned and adjourned and 30-something adjournments? Is there something in the soup? I mean, is it normal? Maybe we should get some education. Can one case keep getting... I mean, is it that there's never anything new to proceed with? And after 30-something adjournments, at some point, should it even continue?
And while we talk about that, the family is affected by all of this.
Right. So listen, if you know somebody who has been Menzgolded, please get them to tune in this morning. Menzgolded. I mean, make it snappy. Time no day, right?
Time no day.
All right. Well, the 6 a.m. news was brought to us by Total Energies. Total, we go the extra mile for you. And Absa Bank Ghana Limited, helping you find a way to get things done. For the Joy Business Report, our thanks go to Glyco Life Travel Insurance. Glyco, we cushion you for life.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Joy Business Report. Thanks for tuning in, especially our friends from Koforidua listening on KTU Radio. Coming up, some individuals receive payments for new domestic debt exchange bonds after government released 2.4 billion cedis for settlements. Also coming up, Ghana's expected agreement with external creditors in the coming weeks shows the country is on track with the International Monetary Fund program. We'll tell you why. Plus, some local firms unhappy with the state of procurement processes in the country, describing it as a canker. Details coming up. My name is Daryl Kwao. Happy to be with you this morning. First up, some investors have started receiving payments for the new domestic debt exchange program bonds after government released some 2.4 billion cedis as coupon payments for these papers. Here's George Affe.
Holders have told Joy Business that they got the alerts on their phones yesterday evening. One of them says all the amounts expected have been paid in full. The payments cover some of the bonds that were exchanged under the domestic debt exchange program at the end of February this year, with coupon payments due yesterday. We are also learning that some of the firms have received their payments for these new bonds that they were holding. Government has given the firm assurance that it will work hard to meet the coupon payments that are due on all these new bonds that were issued under the domestic debt exchange program in the coming months. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta believes this will go a long way to restore market confidence and aid in the stability of the economy in the coming months. We also understand that some 5.4 million Ghana cedis has been released as payment for coupons on bonds that didn't participate in the domestic debt exchange program.
George Affe with that report. Ghana's expected agreement with external creditors in the coming weeks shows the country is on track with the International Monetary Fund program. That's the position of Associate Professor of Finance at the Andrews University in the U.S., Williams Pippa. According to him, Ghana seems to be returning to financial stability. UK-based Economist Intelligence Unit in its recent report indicated that Ghana had advanced with its negotiation for external debt restructuring. Speaking to Joy Business, Professor Pippa said Ghana should convince China to restructure all of the about $5 billion of its loans.
To be glad to see China also accepting to a deal like this because they are also seen as our external creditors. It will really help us because, as we know, about 5.something billion are held by China, which is very significant in the debt that we are holding. So they also accepting to an exchange or a debt exchange program will really support our economy. It gives some confidence. It points to the fact that probably the IMF strategies or guidelines are being complied with, and Ghana may seem to be coming back on track to see a financial sustainability.
Williams Reprise, Associate Professor of Finance at the Andrews University. Now, some local firms are unhappy with the state of procurement processes in the country, describing it as a canker. According to businessman Abraham Amwakohene, measures should be taken not to suppress the operations of small businesses by bigger firms. He's urging the Ghana Revenue Authority to embark on appropriate measures in the collection of taxes from local firms.
Procurement in this country has gone way wide. That all that big companies or multinationals, all they're doing is filling a document called purchasing order, and you take this PO. You as the small, medium-sized company have to go and look for money, borrow today around 40%, and do the work, deliver to them, and you have to wait 30, 60, 90 days before they pay you. In other words, you have to wait till they sell their goods or their services before they pay you. Who is financing who? Small companies financing big companies. And what even kills us is immediately you deliver and install your invoice, you take that invoice, they also will jump at you, they want their VAT immediately, even though you have not received the money.
Abraham Amwakohene is a businessman. Now, even though smallholder farmers are optimistic of bumper harvest in October and November, they have, however, appealed to the government to put in place measures to transport food from the farm gate to the markets. This, they say, will reduce the cost of transport and help set competitive prices for consumers. Speaking to Joy Business, Executive Director of the Peasant Farmers Association, Dr. Charles Ngaba, said a negative shift in any of the variables could influence pricing and could cause farmers to lose.
The various regions, the rice growing areas, I think now that they are applying fertilizers, harvesting will start somewhere October, November. But even with that, I mentioned cost of production. One cost of production goes up, even if supply increase, it's going to be difficult for farmers to sell it at a loss. If they have to sell it at a lower price than the current price, means that they have to sell at a loss. So I don't expect to see any significant reduction in prices within the.
you heard Executive Director of the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana, Dr. Charles Nyaba. Now, the approval of the takeover of Aker Energy by African Finance Corporation in Ghana has been described as one of the significant major acquisitions in the oil and gas sector during the first half of the year. That's according to the African Energy Chamber. The report indicates that the transaction is pushing Ghana into an oil and gas investment hub among other oil exploration countries on the continent. Here's more.
The African Energy Chamber State of African Energy Quarter 2 2023 Outlook Report unveiled significant strides made in Africa's mergers and acquisitions sector, with announced and completed transactions already surpassing the $1.85 billion mark in the first half of 2023. These figures are indicative of a thriving economic landscape that defies conventional expectations. Key contributors to these impressive transaction volumes are the announced sale of Angolan assets by Galp to Soweto in February and the takeover of Aker Energy in Ghana by the AFC. Additionally, Malaysian NOC Petronas exited Chad, finalizing the transfer of its stakes in oil fields and export pipelines. The analysis of transactions reveals a shift in trends, with Angola, Ghana, Chad and Morocco emerging as key transaction hubs in the sector. Meanwhile, the government of Ghana recently approved the plan of development for the Pecan field, which originally belonged to Aker. This is expected to be a flagship project for the new owners in the country.
Moving on, over 40,000 entities and individuals in agro-processing and cosmetics are benefiting from the West Africa Competitiveness Program by the United Nations Industrial Development Organization. The support, which includes quality of products and technical assistance on value addition, aims to help these beneficiary firms get easy access to the international market. Speaking to journalists at the second Ghana International Cluster Conference, Project Manager Ebe Mushwali hinted that the majority of the support has gone into quality standards.
Companies are working together, they are partnering with technical institutions, with universities, and they develop products, they become more competitive. A big chunk of the work has gone into standards and enhancing quality and making the SMEs compliant to what the market is requiring. So thanks to this, now the companies, we have assisted more than 43,000 companies throughout the country, and thanks to this now they can have products that are conform to the market, to what the market requires, and they are now selling in some countries in Africa, in East Africa, in South Africa, but some of them are also accessing the European Union market, which is a top-end market, especially for cosmetics.
The Ghana International Cluster Conference forms part of the initiative to showcase innovations of industrial clusters in the cosmetics, foods and cassava value chain. Now, honey-based startup J24 Foods Limited, founded by Judith Akos Atama, is tasting sweet success from her production facility in Accra. She supplies 600 outlets across the country as the demand for honey soars. The Joy Business Van tells her story today.
Hi, Joy Business One. I'm Judith Akos Atama, the founder and CEO of J24 Foods. Welcome to Honeywell. J24 Foods started close to 10 years ago. During national service, I happened to run into some business idea. I was posted to Forestry Commission. We went for some inspection in one forest reserve. I met with the forest manager who introduced me to beekeeping. Honey is not our only product. We do coconut oil, we do hibiscus tea, and then we do palm oil. So, but honey is the one that brings in the money. Yes, so we do on the average, all the sizes, we do on the average 8,000 to 10,000 bottles in a month. We want to reach every part of this country.
All right, so do tune in at 1 p.m. right after the Joy Business Report, at 5 p.m. on Business Live on the Joy News channel as Judith Akos Atama tells her story. We're also going to get insight into bee farming. Before we go, a look at the currency market as we conclude. The dollar going for 11 cedis 43 pesos on the forex or retail market. The pound going for 14 cedis 78 pesos. The euro going for 12 cedis 45 pesos on the commodity market. Crude oil trading at $84.04 a barrel. Gold $1,931.90 an ounce after going up by $5.87, and cocoa trading at $3,423 a ton after going down by $20. More news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Daryl Carl. Thanks for listening. The Super Morning Show continues with Kojo Yankson. Hey, Kojo.
Do you know the Soweto Gospel Choir?
I've heard about them.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. They featured on a song by Derek called Pray For Me. And I want you to listen to it, see what you think. You know, that's our inspiration. Menzgold. So he issued, letters on Menzgold letterhead recently. Is Menzgold still a functioning operation? I mean, yeah, let's get some answers to some of these questions today, right? But in the meantime, here it is, Darif. Choir. Lovely tune. Pray for me. All right. We're all together. Shall we get going?
Let's get into a Drive Safe campaign then.
Which is brought to us by Joe News and Multimedia Group, is supported by Toyota. Superior quality. Avoid all distractions. Keep both eyes on the road, hands on the steering wheel. Remember that the traffic lights, most of the traffic lights in this city center are still faulty down. So please be careful as you drive. We're reminding the Roads Ministry and Urban Roads that the faulty traffic lights, they must fix. Ablekuma Awoshi. That's a critical one because this year alone, residents say that they have lost 45 lives because of the traffic lights. We're asking them to fix it. Just fix it.
Can you imagine engaging in behavior that causes death? And it happens 45 times. The first time wasn't enough to stop you, or the second, or third, or 10th, or 20th, or even the 44th wasn't enough to stop you. Then what will stop you? What will stop us as a society from making people die because our traffic lights are not working? 45 deaths deep, and the thing still hasn't been fixed. And
We'll
yet,
keep reminding Urban Roads and the Roads Ministry. Please fix it.
Great. Let's learn how to say it right now. Brought to us by Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks, and Societe Generale Bank Ghana. The future is you.
Something must be done.
I am quite hungry this morning. Probably because I resumed my weight loss regimen yesterday. It's nothing fancy. I simply eat no food after 7 p.m. A rather traumatic visit to the doctor occasioned my return to healthier ways. Now, I'm sure you heard people use the word occasioned. Occasion can be a verb just as much as a noun. Now, as a verb, it means caused to happen. It does not mean happened. For example, you can't say Mary's dismissal occasioned on Monday. The correct way to use occasioned would be failure to meet sales targets occasioned Mary's dismissal on Monday. Simply put, as a verb, occasion is about what caused the occasion, not the occasion itself. And now we can all say it right.
You say either.
why were you all sniggering at my weight loss regimen?
Waiting car.
Loss regimen.
Let's get into the papers.
Don't forget the regimen. Yeah, let's go straight there. It's a news review now brought to you by First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different, and Syntex Tank, strong, tough.
I'd like to start with the Finder newspaper, and there's a story of interest because we've discussed this matter here on the show, and it has to do with Ghana's national food. What is that one dish that represents Ghana? We had this conversation here.
Oh, yes, we have. We had the conversation with the executive director of the National Folklore Board.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I remember that.
Okay, so what is interesting is that there's a press statement by the same board, the National Folklore Board, which is asking the public to choose one traditional dish as Ghana's national meal in commemoration of this year's World Folklore Day. The board, under the auspices of the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, says that the exercise will help safeguard Ghana's intangible cultural heritage elements. So in the press statement, they give a link where you can go and choose a meal, but the list of foods includes apapransa, fufu and soup, banku and okro or pepper with fish, tuozafi, ampesi and abom, kenke and pepper with fish, wache, Ghana jollof, akpala and okro soup, as well as gari and beans, yoke gari or red.
I know which is my favorite. But I don't know whether it would be suitable as a national dish. But, on that list, the thing I could eat every day for the rest of my life is wache.
Okay. So I remember Papransa came up because Madam Bernes and Kuma had suggested, because we're looking for a meal that captures. People came up with all sorts of things. I don't remember what I chose, but now that I see akpala,
I don't know which one to even choose. But I remember at the time, I'm sure the guys can look for that audio. Jojo and Aaron can look for that audio. She talked about the fact that, everywhere you go in this country, you have people, appreciating apapransa, akpeleji, whatever she gives the other names of it. And she talked about the fact that the preparation of fufu is not the best.
Complicated.
Prepared under sometimes under unhygienic conditions.
Every meal can be prepared under unhygienic conditions.
You know, how can you package fufu and travel with?
Yeah, I remember people sent us messages that they were packaged fufu.
They've actually packaged fufu before. Then she talks about the fact that rice and beans gives gas.
I remember that, yes.
No, I'm asking Jojo and Aaron to get me that audio. We'll play it for you very soon. But, I mean, I think that I like fufu. I like the akple and fatri and everything, you know.
Akple is quick. You can do it in 5 minutes.
Although I think if we also want the meal to be sort of representative of the various traditions, then maybe the one that seems to make an appearance in many cultures of Ghana would be fufu.
Oh. I think you're going to say apapransa.
No.
You know the justification for apapransa was also because of the nutrients.
Everybody has a version. Yes. That's what she said. Everybody has a version. But the thing is,
when was the nutrients as well.
That is my point.
Yeah.
Right. That's my point.
An occasional
meal. There may be versions of it everywhere, but we ourselves, that's not our favorite thing. We don't eat it on a regular basis. So if we don't like it, how do we tell the world that that's our favorite food?
For me, apapransa would be a delicacy for me because something that you and this is it. I haven't eaten apapransa since 1990 something. I don't even remember the last time I ate apapransa. So it's a no for me. That's my view. It's a no for me.
I think banku and okro is such a popular meal.
It also good.
I mean,
the Fantis have banku and okro.
Yeah.
The Evers have it, obviously. Where else do we find it? Zimmers have a version, right?
Yeah, do you think so?
It crosses some boundaries.
I don't mind having banku and okro or okra.
Can we package that one as
easier
than fufu?
Oh, last time Jamrock packaged one for you.
Oh yeah.
You can actually package one for us. Actually, you can actually package fufu. I like fufu. I probably love ampesi and abom. I love that one too. So we can start that conversation. Look,
the one where you pour the sizzling red oil with the onions and.
Can we ask our listeners to join in this conversation?
Yeah, you tell us. Okay, let's tweet. Let's tweet all the options given by the what are they called again?
National
Folklore Board. Okay, let's tweet all the options. You tell us which of these is most deserving of the title of Ghana's national dish. Yeah, let's talk it through, eh?
Well, okay, so other stories in the paper: no licenses granted to mine lithium. That's according to the Minerals Commission. Government settles 2.4 billion Ghana cedis coupons on new bonds, and $70 million phase 2 of Tamale Airport commissioned to increase economic activities in northern Ghana.
Well, the Business and Financial Times, utility tariffs up for third consecutive quarter.
Charlie, that one.
Yes, we have to pay more. We have to pay more. Everything is going up.
As for electricity, it's been consistent. So, because I've had electricity, and supply hasn't been, except for that low current thing that I experience in my area.
So for electricity, it's going to go up by 4.22% and water by 1.18% in tariffs. See.
But the salaries haven't gone up.
Salaries went up at the beginning of the year for public sector workers by 30%. For majority of us in the private sector, for some of us, let me not put majority, I don't know figures. Let me say some of us in the private sector. You don't know, people are cutting down on advertisements, and so when you have to walk to your boss and go and ask for a salary increase, you're asking yourself, am I being fair? Am I being realistic to the company? Because I can understand what the company is going through, and so you stay back. And that's why, the last time I was complaining about, for instance, when we engage in monetary financing and inflation is going up and we're increasing policy rate and the Ghana reference rate is going up, and as a result, people cannot borrow even to expand. Businesses are struggling because cost of money, cost of credit is very high today. It's over 30%. How are you going to borrow over 30% and expand your business? You will die. And so that's where that's the beginning of the problem. So if you have to pay more for fuel price,
unless you're borrowing to run Menzgold,
if you're paying more for fuel prices, if you're paying more for water, if you're paying more for electricity, and mind you, look, everybody's inflation. One of the things we must note is that the rate of inflation, the analysis we do with the rate of inflation, is the average rate of increase in the price of goods and services. The average. But even there is a weight on it. So if you check, every item has a weight. You compare that increase to the previous year's increase. Now the increase would be gotten through all the markets, but your inflation may be different from my inflation. Everybody has his rate of inflation. So my rate of inflation could be more than 100%. The national average will be 43.1%, but my rate of inflation could always be more than the national average. And national average, in other regions, you have regions that are higher than the national average. So, when all of these things are happening, our disposable income is low. Times become hard for us. And that's our reality today. Times are hard.
So you will notice that, these Asian tigers and all that, when they had to manage situations like this of economic crisis, they actually did the analysis of who will be hit the hardest. And they tried to figure out which sections of their society were most resilient. Okay, so if they figured that, the middle class has a bit more buffer than, the working class, then they would see about controlling prices in a way that would affect more the middle class than the working class. They made conscious decisions with information like what Winston is sharing. So it must all be factored into your decision making. You don't just randomly do the inflation is this. So sometimes these deeper analyses of who is being hit harder than whom.
Yeah.
These things have to be part of our decision making. Maybe if we had a National Development Planning Commission. Oh, wait. We do.
Oh, we do.
We do. Go to the ports today. And the rate is at, $1 to 11 cents using calculating duty, import duty. That's what it's using.
But listen, if you keep increasing tariffs, for instance, and we don't have the ability to pay, what do you think would happen? I think that should be factored in as well.
It has to. Baumia inaugurates Tamale International Airport is also here. NCA launches digital audio broadcast trial in Accra and Kumasi. Some 18 radio stations selected. I see that Sempa FM is one of those stations. Tourism sector to automate revenue collection, and government boosters investor confidence with coupon payments. And so they've paid the 2.4 billion.
I remember there was a feature in one of the papers yesterday asking if government was going to be able to meet that.
Yeah, government was always going to meet that because I'm sure they may have done the analysis before agreeing on even that particular period. And if government didn't pay, it was going to send the wrong signal. And that would have triggered a lot of protests, really. How are you going to convince people that you're a credible, a sovereign nation, which is creditworthy, when you're unable to pay something that you've restructured? This is not you telling the world that I cannot pay you, but this is you saying, I can pay you at this point. So they've made payments. Vibrant trade within Africa hinges on stability. That's according to Cyril Ramaphosa, who is president of South Africa, and it brings into question the trade vulnerability report, as presented by the Ghana Statistical Service. And let me say this: the Ghana Statistical Service under Professor Kobnenim, they're doing a good job. Now they've realized that we import. Listen to this: our fuel, we import fuel to countries and export fuel from different countries. Just give that a thought a minute. Think about it 1 minute.
That one I can't think for. It doesn't make sense to me.
Okay, I'm going to try to make it, make sense to you.
Especially when it costs a lot more when we import it.
Exactly, and that's why I say I want to make sure it makes sense to you. Okay, so when it comes to fuel, we export to China, Canada, and Italy. So 38.1% to China, 33% to Canada. Now, this is where we actually import our fuel from. Processed crude oil. United Kingdom, 42.2%. Netherlands, 23.1%. Now, you exported it in the raw state. It was processed and brought to you.
Yep.
Think about it for a minute and think about even how that impacts your economy. So you export it, you get foreign exchange, and you would need more foreign exchange in bringing it back into your country.
Same thing.
The same thing. Exported. Because now it's gone through processing. It's gone through the machines. After it goes through all the machines, you know what that means. That's our reality.
You see why we need a mindset revolution.
Yes, we do. We need a mindset.
We need to start thinking differently about even the ownership of our own resources. Other countries have done it. Look at how Saudi Arabia became an oil power. The thing was there. They didn't have the knowledge or the know-how to bring it out of the earth. But instead of letting somebody smarter come and sign a deal with them, pay them some royalties and take the whole thing away, they said, look, it's ours. When you bring it out, we'll buy it from you at this price. So it becomes our property. And then we'll sell it to the world at whatever price we like.
If we did the same, could we even refine?
Years ago, I had to
mindset, right?
Years ago, I had to undergo some training in petroleum, oil and gas law from some lecturers from Dundee University. And one of them, who's an expert in the field, said, even at $40 a barrel, producers of crude oil will make a profit.
Yeah.
Even at $40 per barrel, they make a profit. Mercuduka launches pilot training for small-scale miners. That's it on the Business and Finance.
The Daily Graphic newspaper. There are other headlines captured in other newspapers, so I won't go there. But Republic Bank Africa sets up hub in Africa. Ghana saves $1.5 billion from GMPC Gensa deal, according to the Parliamentary Select Committee. But we know that the minority has distanced itself from this committee's reports. And there are CSOs who are still speaking against it. Imani Africa, for instance. In Zimbabwe, about 6.6 million of the citizens are heading to the polls today. They are already queuing. They are electing presidents and MPs. 11 candidates certified by the Zimbabwe Election Commission are vying for the presidency. That's a significant drop. I think in 2018 we had about 23 candidates. And the Omahene of the Doma traditional area, Osajefo Osiadeyo Ajimambedu II, has said that his recent comments on national issues must not be misinterpreted to mean he was indulging in partisan politics.
Okay.
Let's go for the online issue then.
Brought to us by Zenith Bank, in your best interest, and Goyle Good Energy.
Well, experience true convenience with a Zenith Visa or MasterCard today. Conveniently shop online, make payment at retail outlets locally and internationally, and effect transactions on ATMs here in Ghana and abroad, all with your Zenith Visa or MasterCard. Don't just hear about it. Experience it. Get your Zenith Visa or MasterCard today at any Zenith Bank branch and experience the true convenience of card payment. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
Okay, now there's an interesting story on myjoyonline.com. Go check out the details for yourself. But it says Baumia's official functions and campaign activities cannot be separated. And it's Nana Kumia saying this, okay? Go check out why he says that. All right, it's on myjoyonline.com. Right now, though, time for the BBC News, brought to us by Fidelity Bank, believe with us, and Log On Voice. Experience seamless business management.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
Long time, my brother.
Hey, Kwame, I didn't even see you.
But where are you going to dressed up in this black attire?
Yeah, where's your car?
Don't tell me you still haven't been able to fix it after the accident.
My house got burnt. I lost my job. Long time in row.
Oh, so sorry. But wait, don't you have insurance to cover your house?
Suddenly, my friend B advised me to see some people for some small thing that I can.
Small what? Look, times are hard, so you need to sacrifice a little for some unforeseen circumstances like this. Sunu Assurances would have gotten you a new car and sorted you out with your house, car. Look, don't take important things for granted. You can be rest assured that your future is assured. Buy insurance now. Just call 0552 571 980 or visit their EasySure platforms to buy insurance through WhatsApp and Telegram by sending hi to the same number. Sunu Assurances, you pick your way, we take the risk.
Are you a corporate organization, e-commerce business, individual or student looking for a trusted courier company where you can track your package and receive SMS alerts to keep you posted? At IAS FedEx, we move your documents and parcels with care to the destination of your choice. With offices across the nation, we happily deliver your package to your office or the comfort of your home. With the assurance of safety and affordability giving you peace of mind, IAS FedEx has your package in good hands. Call us on +233 501 605,000 or +233 501 631,000. IAS, licensee of FedEx.
Your search for a distinctive university to attend is now over. I introduce you to Heritage Christian College, located at Amasaman behind the Olympic Stadium, affiliated to KNUST and UCC and accredited by the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission.
The university offers Bachelor of Business Administration programs with options in accounting with computing, marketing, accounting, human resource management, business information technology management, entrepreneurship and technology innovation, Bachelor of Science courses in information technology and information security, nursing, and a Bachelor of Theology. We offer student entrepreneurship training with financial support.
The entry qualifications include WASI, SSCE, GBCE, HND, and diploma in relevant fields. Mature entrants can also come if they are 25 years and above.
We also offer 12-month Master of Science programs in accounting and taxation, accounting and finance, and human resource management.
Contact us on 0547 777 731.
Heritage Christian College, a university educating compassionate entrepreneurial leaders.
It's time to go beyond what your traditional financial apps can do. Introducing Cowrie, the only digital financial app you will ever need. Experience Cowrie, the way to pay. Send. Move your money in quick, easy steps at the best rates on the market. Buy. Top up your airtime and data twice as fast as you normally do. Pay. Step out of the cash queue. Pay for any product or service when you need to. Enjoy it faster. And now, manage. Experience a new way of managing your money. Understand how and when your money moves. You can rely on Cowrie every day. Download Cowrie from your Google Play Store or App Store. Experience Cowrie, the way to pay.
Cork, once the main way to release wine, had its market share decimated from the 1990s.
Director of Communication for the NPP. Now he is calling on the Bank of Ghana to provide a detailed and better explanation of the issues surrounding the new headquarters building and also the 60.8 billion Ghana cedi loss. Okay, I want to read his quote. Of course, this is all in light of the recent, minority agitations around these Bank of Ghana issues. Okay, so this is what he's saying. Okay, I quote him. The whole brouhaha with the Bank of Ghana is becoming a problem for the government and party in power. So if they have anything to explain, they should. NPP as a political party, we don't condone wrongdoing. We don't condone anything to do with alleged malfeasance or corruption. This particular issue is becoming an albatross around the neck of the government and the party in power. So they need to come out clean. The explanation that they are giving, we don't get it. So they should come out and explain better. The governor of the Bank of Ghana needs to sit up and come clean so that the government will look good. The issue is becoming a danger for the political fortunes in the 2024 elections. Financially, we are going through turbulence, but as a party, we've done a lot in managing the economy. And then the next day, you hear this scandal coming from the Bank of Ghana. As a spokesperson for the NPP, I want to tell the Bank of Ghana to come clean and let us know exactly what is going on. They cannot sit somewhere and be explaining things the way they want. All right. Okay. So, he thinks that Bank of Ghana losing 60 billion Ghana cedis is a scandal. And he wants them to explain. Does this mean that he doesn't know what the money was spent on? Bank of Ghana has been saying consistently that that money was used to bail out the government which couldn't pay its bills, the government which had been downgraded by all credit agencies, couldn't borrow money anywhere on the market, a government that was unable to meet its obligations and still isn't able to meet its obligations. So when he says they should come clean, I'm not sure the money came to his party in government. Or is it that he doesn't know what the government did with the money? I'm not sure.
I think what he's actually talking about is the Bank of Ghana office. So
right.
Yes, he's making reference to the Bank of Ghana office. I mean, if you listen to what he's saying, if you read what he's saying, he's talking about the office, the Bank of Ghana office. The fact that that is making the government unpopular. As for the losses, they know where they go. I mean, the money is gone. Everybody knows where the money is gone to. And this is government needs help. You finance government. Government is expected to pay over a period, and government comes back to say, well, I can't pay you. So how about you take a hit? And then based on that, we're able to reduce our debts. Yes, you could talk about this being accounting treatment, but that's your loss anyway. And you could talk about the fact that sometimes yes, these losses on your books doesn't mean that you can't do anything. That's true. It doesn't necessarily mean that the Bank of Ghana is insolvent and the Bank of Ghana cannot solve any, cannot help any bank. They can still help banks anyway, so that's another issue. But look, I am happy he's talking about the fact that the Bank of Ghana should come clean. That the Bank of Ghana should come clean on the $222 million office. Now, the governor in his own press statement talks about, certain decisions that were even taken somewhere in 2022. In 2022, we knew we were in trouble. So yes, in 2020, well, in the midst of COVID-19, you were making profits. 2021, you're making profits. Well, pardoned, you will be pardoned. But in 2022, any analysis of your cash flow, any analysis of how things were going would suggest to you that you're going to have a problem. And the government would not all of a sudden start a DDEP without the Bank of Ghana not knowing anything about it. So the DDEP would just not become news to the Bank of Ghana in December 2022. In fact, we sat here, right here on the Super Morning Show, and said that the IMF doesn't lend to countries that are not debt unsustainable. And so before the IMF lends to you, you must become debt sustainable. And because our debt levels were unsustainable, we are likely to go through a haircut and by extension a debt exchange. We said it right here on the Small Morning Show. So the governor cannot tell me that he didn't know. And that is where your impairment should be working. You look at it and say, based on this, I think we're going to make some losses. So how about we hold a few things on? And having said that also, I think Owusu Bempah also should be talking about how government must manage the economy to levels that it had to resort to monetary financing. Okay? He has to talk about that. Let him not pretend that as for that one is not an issue, and the issue is the Bank of Ghana deciding to build a new headquarters. After all, the PPA, the Entity Review Committee, indicates that the Bank of Ghana's rate is very competitive.
Cost per square meter of construction.
The cost per square meter of construction is very competitive.
You see, the thing is this: when it comes to this, headquarters, my concern is about the detail, the bills of quantities. Why does the Bank of Ghana need a 21-story headquarters? Why does the Bank of Ghana need a car park
that can park over 3,000 vehicles? Why does the Bank of Ghana need to build a headquarters in the center of Accra that costs more than the whole of Saglemi? Why must the Bank of Ghana's headquarters cost more than the whole Akosombo Dam? These are the ones that I am confused about. I don't doubt or dispute the need for a new headquarters. I think that one is quite clear. A new headquarters is needed. But why is it on that scale? Whatever the cost per square meter, it is the scale of it that makes it a $220-something million project. One headquarters. Me, that's my concern. Empire is the Deputy Director of Communication for the NPP. Now he is calling on the Bank of Ghana to provide a detailed and better explanation of the issues surrounding the new headquarters building and also the 60.8 billion Ghana cedi loss. Okay, I want to read his quote. Of course, this is all in light of the recent, minority agitations around these Bank of Ghana issues. Okay, so this is what he's saying. Okay, I quote him. The whole brouhaha with the Bank of Ghana is becoming a problem for the government and party in power. So if they have anything to explain, they should. NPP as a political party, we don't condone wrongdoing. We don't condone anything to do with alleged malfeasance or corruption. This particular issue is becoming an albatross around the neck of the government and the party in power. So they need to come out clean. The explanation that they are giving, we don't get it. So they should come out and explain better. The governor of the Bank of Ghana needs to sit up and come clean so that the government will look good. The issue is becoming a danger for the political fortunes in the 2024 elections. Financially, we are going through turbulence, but as a party, we've done a lot in managing the economy. And then the next day, you hear this scandal coming from the Bank of Ghana. As a spokesperson for the NPP, I want to tell the Bank of Ghana to come clean and let us know exactly what is going on. They cannot sit somewhere and be explaining things the way they want. All right, okay, so he thinks that Bank of Ghana losing 60 billion Ghana cedis is a scandal. And he wants them to explain. Does this mean that he doesn't know what the money was spent on? Bank of Ghana has been saying consistently that that money was used to bail out the government which couldn't pay its bills, the government which had been downgraded by all, credit agencies, couldn't borrow money anywhere on the market. A government that was unable to meet its obligations and still isn't able to meet its obligations. So when he says they should come clean, I'm not sure the money came to his party in government. Or is it that he doesn't know what the government did with the money? I'm not sure.
I think what he's actually talking about is the Bank of Ghana office. So
right.
Yes, he's making reference to the Bank of Ghana office. I mean, if you listen to what he's saying, if you read what he's saying, he's talking about the office, the Bank of Ghana office. The fact that, that is making the government unpopular. As for the losses, they know where they go. I mean, the money is gone. Everybody knows where the money is gone to. And this is government needs help. You finance government. Government is expected to pay over a period, and government comes back to say, well, I can't pay you. So how about you take a hit? And then based on that, we're able to reduce our debts. Yes, you could talk about this being accounting treatment, but that's your loss anyway. And you could talk about the fact that sometimes yes, these losses on your books doesn't mean that you can't do anything. That's true. It doesn't necessarily mean that the Bank of Ghana is insolvent and the Bank of Ghana cannot solve any, cannot help any bank. They can still help banks anyway, so that's another issue. But look, I am happy he's talking about the fact that the Bank of Ghana should come clean. That the Bank of Ghana should come clean on the $222 million office. Now, the governor in his own press statement talks about, certain decisions that were even taken somewhere in 2022. In 2022, we knew we were in trouble. So yes, in 2020, well, in the midst of COVID-19, you were making profits. 2021, you're making profits. Well, pardoned, you will be pardoned. But in 2022, any analysis of your cash flow, any analysis of how things were going would suggest to you that you're going to have a problem. And the government would not all of a sudden start a DDEP without the Bank of Ghana not knowing anything about it. So the DDEP would just not become news to the Bank of Ghana in December 2022. In fact, we sat here, right here on the Super Morning Show, and said that the IMF doesn't lend to countries that are not that are debt unsustainable. And so before the IMF lends to you, you must become debt sustainable. And because our debt levels were unsustainable, we are likely to go through a haircut and by extension a debt exchange. We said it right here on the Super Morning Show. So the governor cannot tell me that he didn't know. And that is where your impairment should be working. You look at it and say, based on this, I think we're going to make some losses. So how about we hold it?
Journey into the past.
Some bit of dancehall in there.
Yeah.
I like
what
that
were
one.
you shaking?
This one is called Hot this year.
What was I doing?
Winston was shaking something.
Was it what his mama gave him?
Yeah.
So later on the Super Morning Show, we'll be talking about this.
We are a duly incorporated legal entity, legal person. The mobilization of funds. Which funds are you referring to? The one you have used to pay the 5,000 people. And the one you are going to use to pay those who will be validated. Very well, Stan. Yeah, those funds, are they the funds of Menzgold Company Limited? Well, it doesn't necessarily, I don't think I need to tell you, whose funds was it. It could be from my grandmother. It could be from my grandmother's cocoa, proceeds from my grandmother's cocoa farm. For me, what is important is that I owe people. And so long as the money is legal and it doesn't breach. You have already said that you are different from. Do you want to let me answer? Do you want an answer or not? Okay, please. Sir. What is important is that we are indebted, right? And the said debt, has to be paid or is being paid. And where the money is coming from, so long as the funds, the source of the funds, does not infringe, on any anti-money laundering, law or regulation, it is fine.
Yeah.
This still fascinates me, right? Because this is a gentleman who's been on bail. He was arrested, granted bail. Mm-hmm. We can talk about the courtroom adjournment because, it's the case has been adjourned many times.
30-something
waiting, 37, waiting AG's advice, right? But what kind of authority has he got to go public and ask for people to pay him money and say all the things that he's saying? That's the bits that I really don't understand.
The question is, if what he's doing is unlawful or wrong or unethical or whatever, where is the body that ought to point it out? Where is the regulation that ought to protect you and me from whatever is wrong with what he's doing?
Because remember,
that is assuming there's something wrong.
In terms of what he's been charged with, one is carrying on deposit-taking business without license. So that we have said is not proven because, we haven't entirely tried the case. But
that is why his company was shut down.
Exactly. So can he be doing what he's doing right now? That's the thing. And where are the regulators who said he was wrong?
Writing official statements on Menzgold letterheads. Does Menzgold exist?
Somebody who was unlawfully taking deposits and money laundering, can he publicly be demanding monies from people that he took monies from in the past that we say he did something unlawful and he's being tried?
Well, later on in the show, when we are joined by Martin Kwebu, he will tell us more about this.
Not much later, very soon actually. But first...
So in our research, as we conduct our research across the country, we realize that paparamsa is one of the local dishes that is more almost appreciated by everybody. Even in northern region, they have their own way of preparing it, and it's just like papapransa. So if you identify or name papapransa as a national meal, I think it will be fair to each community and each region. When we promote it as a national meal, then it will be used in homes daily or frequently, because we are not promoting it and it's being used for maybe wedding, funeral occasions, parties, and special events. That is why maybe we don't actually know that we should consume it on a daily basis.
You remember that, right?
Yes,
you remember
of course
this?
I do.
Yes, when we spoke to the lady from the National Folklore Board.
Venice Day. I mean, I was in that interview with Mama V. I remember that very well. She talked about other things, how fufu.
Red was also not a good option.
And hygienic red and rice and beans all giving gas. That's why old people don't like it. And she said that red, particularly kokunte, was for people who are managing life.
Oh.
That's just by the way. She said, because kokunte. No, I mean later on we'll play the long. He says kokunte is cheap for people who are managing life.
Oh.
And you got a lot of people telling her that they don't know about Chris Brown. You know Chris Brown?
Yeah.
That's kokunte.
Kokunte nimwas,
Yeah. So that's it basically. But Mavi, you have the list in front of you.
Yes, we've been asked to choose a meal that represents our country, and the foods that they've provided that includes apapransa, akmeleji, fufu and soup, banku and okra or pepper with fish, tozafi and pesi and abom, kenke and pepper with fish, wache, Ghana jollof, akmele and okra soup, as well as gari and beans, yoke gari. And according to the board, there's a need to protect and promote the Ghanaian heritage as it safeguards Ghana's intangible cultural heritage. This week is actually World Folklore Week. Right. So we're being encouraged as Ghanaian with Ghanaian high life, palm wine music, African music, traditional foods, and wear made in Ghana outfits.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I have told you that if I were to be emotional, I just would settle for fufu because I love fufu. But I think that logically, wachi should do it for me. Yes, we can market wachi as the Ghanaian, the national food of Ghana. I think it works.